spectacular. Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Benanti. Spectacular joke, I bombed it.
Oh, the show itself was the joke.
I feel like you have one weekend off every year.
Are we not addressing this? Or just letting this slide?
Are we gonna talk about what happened to your face?
Oh, yeah.
No, guys, it's not a thing. She's fine. Everything's fine.
No, I'm fine. There she is! How are you? I'm gonna take the cape off, too.
Yeah.
Alright, great.
Hi.
Here we are. I want to take a picture of everybody.
Oh my God,
okay,
you
let's
guys.
take a selfie with everybody.
Look your hottest for Laura Benanti,
Everybody,
please.
get in here.
Wait, oh, me?
Yeah.
How do I do it?
Just, how do you
ready?
do it? It's a photo. Alright, ready? We're gonna try to get everybody in.
Hi, guys.
Alright, great.
This is insane! I can't believe this is happening.
Really?
Well, you know, every time I see you, every time I talk to you, I'm like, act normal for 5 minutes.
Why are we so far away?
Should we go up?
Yeah.
Hi,
That's
do you want
better,
to
right? Yeah. Why
I'm
are we
gonna
so
go
far
through your
away?
phone.
Oh, that's fine.
Is that
Thank
okay?
you. Yeah. Every time you talk to me, what happens?
Well, you know how like every time I see you,
Yeah.
we'll talk like normal for 5 seconds,
Yeah.
and my gay brain goes off, and I'm
Right.
like, and you're like, can you please just not today? My ears hurt.
No, I never say that.
I know that's true.
Okay.
But I was gonna say, I feel like you have one weekend off a year, and then it happens to be this weekend, and all your friends are like, can you come do my thing at BroadwayCon?
No, I've never been able to come to BroadwayCon, so I'm so excited.
What is it? Okay, so you're like a recognizable famous person in real life, but at BroadwayCon you're like Lady Gaga level famous. What is it like to like walk around and have to like have 15 people around you?
But I don't. Actually, I was like disturbed by how few people seemed like they cared. When I was here. I walked in like, and everyone was like, no, thank you.
I actually wrote. I like.
You wrote questions like a professional?
I wrote
I'm
some
so proud
questions.
of you.
Did you see my tweet this morning at 3 a.m.? I was awake, so I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning.
Okay.
Did
Even
the
my
laundry.
kid.
I know exactly. And I was like, I need to like find out what you've been up to for the last year. Well, number one, the world's gone to hell.
It's really scary out there.
But it's great for you.
Guess so.
So if anybody doesn't know, Laura Benanti plays Melania Trump on the
Sorry.
How did that happen?
How did it happen? I was on Steven's show to promote She Loves Me, and thank you.
You've heard of it? You've heard of it?
I wrote it.
Yeah.
And
She's like, I'll do the jokes.
no, that's not true. You do them too. We both do them. And he pointed out my like physical resemblance to her, which I don't really see, but he put up a photo of us side by side, and then I sort of did her like vacant pout, and then I thought nothing of it. It was just like a tiny, it was like a bit. And then after the Republican National Convention, when she like famously plagiarized Michelle Obama's speech, they called me.
My God.
I know, right?
It's like, what?
I actually feel bad for her because obviously she didn't write it.
Of
Some
course.
idiot was like, just say this. And she was like, okay. And then like the world like rained down a firestorm on her.
Well, they online bullied the person who was like, my whole like platform was going to be to end online bullying.
Also, can we talk about the irony of her ending bullying?
I just cannot.
It's so funny to me. I'm like, here's your platform. Go into his bedroom, because you know they don't share a bed.
She didn't even live in the house when the first time.
Go into his bedroom and take his phone away.
Right.
End of platform!
So I did the LGBT panel today. There's some gay people here. I don't know if you know.
No,
There's like
I didn't. Okay.
I was like, we were talking about Trump, and I was like, oh God, what if there's like a Broadway fan?
I actually was just thinking that.
I know.
I mean, I'm sure it exists. Here's the thing. So I have family members who are Trump supporters. There are people that I really genuinely love who are Trump supporters. And not to like bring it down and get all serious, but I do think the proliferation of like, Fox News and Breitbart and these news sites that if that's the only thing you watch or read are actually very compelling. Like, if I thought that Hillary Clinton ran a child pornography ring out of a pizza place, I wouldn't vote for her either. So, and the fact that we have a pathological liar as our president is truly astonishing. And as a mom, it really freaks me out because all of the things we tell our kids not to do, he does. And so you can say like, well, don't lie, don't bully, don't be mean, don't do all these things. And your kids can literally look at you and be like, but the president does it. And that's what is so terrifying to me, beyond nuclear warfare.
Yeah, there's that too. Are you ready for like
Good night, everybody.
I'm already anticipating that, like, at Laura Benanti, stick to acting.
I know.
Does
and
that
I'll be like, okay.
Speaking of acting, meteor shower.
Yeah.
So, on a scale from 0 to Mandy Patinkin, how crazy is Steve Martin?
He is like.
Sorry, Mandy, if you're here, I love you.
No, he's the best. I have a funny story about him. So
that's like how it always goes.
So he and Patty LuPone are really good friends, and I met him over and over again. And every time I met him, he'd be like, "Nice to meet you." And the 10th time he said that, Patty LuPone goes, "If you say nice to meet you one more time, I'm gonna set your balls on fire." She's like, "You met her 10 times."
And every time you dutifully pretend that you're meeting
every time I was like, "It is an honor to meet you, sir. You killed my father. Prepare to die."
Prepare to die.
So, on a scale of 0 to Mandy Patinkin, he's like Tom Hanks. Like he's like super normal.
That is an endorsement if I've ever heard.
Yeah, no, he's very, very engaging. He's a true Renaissance man. He's a musician. He's an artist. He's a writer. He's a comedian. He's a serious actor. He's an author. He's a playwright. He's so many things. He's incredibly bright. Really generous. He can't hear very well.
Oh no.
Yeah, he has. I'm not sure what it's from. But so the first few times I was so nervous to be around him that all of my jokes were like under my breath. And I was like, "Oh, I'm being so," and he didn't respond. And I was like, "Oh my God, he hates me." And then finally Amy was like, "He can't hear you. Like if you want to make a joke, you have to say it loud."
Oh my God. You know, he wrote Bright Star.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot.
I know. Laura, I don't know if
You
know
know
much
the
about music.
sky is blue and there's clouds in it.
I know Bright Star. I love Bright Star
Yeah, me
so
too.
much, and I love Steve Martin. Like, he's such a prolific playwright and now musical book writer. Amazing. I take it all back, Steve. What was I gonna say? Oh, Amy Schumer.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
She's the best. I know for whatever reason, a lot of people were tweeting like, "Oh, you're ruining Broadway, Amy Schumer." I'm like, why do people not like her?
Amy Schumer?
She's so generous. She's so funny. She's really, really smart. She was incredible to me. And that doesn't always happen. A lot of times, like, women and comedians, they can be a little rough to each other. And from the minute I met her, she was just cool. I really like her so much. And she's incredibly fast. She makes me look like a moron.
No way!
Oh, yeah, no, she is so fast. I couldn't catch up. It's like she microwaves a joke. It's incredible. How did you do that? It's incredible. I feel bad for you guys over here. I'm gonna turn to you. Oh, you're watching anything.
Hi guys, look at these people over here.
Is my back to you? Wait, what happens?
Oh, maybe that's why we're supposed to be back more.
Oh, is that why we're supposed to be back
Can you
more?
guys see us?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, we're good.
Do you guys care? No. Okay.
Who's like the one person's gonna be like, yeah, move back, Benanti.
Here. I did nothing. Okay.
Can we talk about one more person in that cast who I'm obsessed with?
Sure.
Jeremy Shamos.
He's the best.
Do you guys know Jeremy Shamos?
It's Seamus.
Is it Seamus?
Seamus like famous.
Oh, and is he?
Yeah.
Not really, but he's like...
He's so good.
He's like a 100-time Tony nominee. Like, I remember him from Clybourne Park, which is like probably my favorite play of all time.
Sure.
And how is he? Like, you know, I was thinking that
He's
you
great.
two are these like Broadway stars, professionals who've been doing this forever, and then you're working with these two, like, you know, big TV movie personalities that have never done the 8-show a week thing.
They have though.
Have they?
Tegan did Hamlet, and Amy actually comes from theater. She studied theater in college, and she actually started a theater company in New York. So she comes from the theater. Yeah, she comes from the theater. She loves theater. I mean, she like. One day I was like, "What are you watching?" She was like, "You as Marie in The Sound of Music." I was like, "Oh, Amy, you're such a nerd."
Where was she watching it?
On her phone.
Like a book.
During tech.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, all of a sudden I heard my voice, and I was like, "Is that an angel?"
That's all the questions I have. Thank you for
Bye.
coming.
Is this going to the radio also? Or
Yeah. We're gonna play on the podcast.
Oh, you're gonna play?
Yeah, we're gonna do it. People are
The
like,
radio.
I know.
Are you gonna spin this record?
What was I gonna ask you about next? I don't remember. Can we talk about your daughter?
Yes, let's talk about my kids.
Laura's a mom now.
You guys, wow. First of all, I'm exhausted. She's in this phase where she will not nap. She just sits in her crib and goes, like she's vocalizing. And now she started going, I'm like, yeah, you gotta warm it down.
Yeah.
But she's hilarious. She's 11 months old. She runs. She catches a ball. Like, she's crazy. She's a lunatic. Today we took her to brunch and there was jazz playing. And she just started going. All the jazz musicians were like in love with her. They gave her their CD.
When did she start walking?
She started walking at 10 months. She started crawling at 6 months and walking at 10 months.
Daisy did not walk until she was 16 months.
I thought you were going to say 16.
Until she was 16.
No, Ella she's, my friends joke that she's a single mom, she's 37, she's a CEO at a company. Like, today I was complaining, I was like, Ella won't nap, and she's like, she didn't make partner by napping. She's the most serious baby. She's so funny.
Is she serious?
She's serious about life, where I feel like she's just been here a million times. And she's like, yeah, let's get to the part where I run everything. Yeah.
Her dad has like a real job, right?
Yeah, her dad's he's
You guys
a
should
civilian.
imply that Laura Benanti doesn't have a real job.
No, well, no, I mean, he's a civilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. He's such an appreciator of the arts, but there's not any sense of like, weirdness.
I wrote these notes and I looked them back over later, and I had literally written the question, what is it like being married to a straight guy? I went out of my body and wrote that question. Well, maybe the straight civilian.
Okay. It's great. I mean, he is, occasionally you're
Is
like...
he neat?
Yeah.
Are you neat?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, no, we have like a fastidious home, but our child...
Don't come to our house.
No, I mean, once we had our kid, I was like, oh, well, it's just gonna look like a garbage pile every day now. But no, it's great. Men and women are so different.
Yes.
And I guess most of the men that I know are gay.
Yes.
So there are some times where I'm like, why don't you just understand my feelings? It's like, I don't know.
I married a gay, and it's not always.
No, I kind of wish I could marry him.
Hey, I love you so much. I'm on stage with Laura Benanti.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
He's like, this is garbage. Why would you call me out like this? You're like, I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about my husband.
But like, so.
Wait, can we talk about how your daughter wears a wig? This
Laura
child
Benanti wig.
has the most hair of any human I've ever seen.
Have you guys seen pictures of Daisy?
Oh my god. She's so gorgeous. She literally has like jasmine hair from, right? Aladdin. And I think it's a wig. I don't believe that.
She's almost 4 and we haven't
Oh
been
my god.
Okay, I'm by.
I threw, oh no! Wait, guys, are there any paper towels? Should I use my cape?
No, just don't dance on it.
Alright, everybody be careful.
We were gonna have Daisy go as you for Halloween last year. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
We were gonna try to get your She Loves Me costume made. You know, my husband Steve has this like dream of dressing her as Fosca. Do you remember when you did that video?
No, I blacked out. Of course I remember.
So I don't know what Fosca is or who it is or what it comes from. I know I'm the worst gay. I know. You guys, this young man.
What's your name? Alexander, how old are you? You're 8? What's your favorite show? I wasn't in that. You have to sit down. Okay, so what's your second favorite show?
In the Heights.
We haven't learned our lesson yet, have we? What's your third favorite show?
Come from away.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you, love. I really appreciate it.
Are you cleaning this up? Sit down! Sit!
We'll leave it, and then we'll do it later.
I'm cleaning this up. I'm gonna ask you on.
No, just sit, leave it there. Let it soak it up. That's how it works. Yeah. Thank you so much, honey. It was so nice to meet you. You're the best. You're so sweet. Thanks for being a good. Oh my God.
One of the things I'd love to know about you is that you were like a super serious kid.
I was the most serious.
How is that possible?
Ella is the same way because because I took things very seriously. Like I was born into a baby body that I was like, let's move it along. I got things I want to do, and I really relate to Ella because she's the same way. She gets so frustrated that she can't communicate yet. She gets frustrated that I don't know what she needs. And I was like that, where I was just like, I don't want to live in this small town where nobody cares about what I care about, because what I care about is Broadway, you know? And I wanted to be on Broadway so badly, so I hadn't yet learned to have a sense of humor about myself.
How did you learn it?
Well, my mom has a sense of humor about herself. She always
Your mother,
has.
oh my God, she's the
hilarious.
funniest person.
She genuinely is hysterically funny, and she sees the world that way. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we would be in a very serious situation, and I, as a child, would have to tell my mom to stop giggling. I would be like, you need to pull it together. Yeah. She just finds the funny. Like, she'll just find the funny, and you know, life is life, and we all go through difficult and trying times. And I had some particularly trying times with my neck and then just stuff. And my mom was like, you gotta look at what's funny about it. And
Linda, oh
yeah,
my God.
so she really brought out in me the part of me that looks for what's funny. The part of you that floats out of your own body, you know, that you can see yourself from the outside.
The part of me that wrote, what's it like to be married to a straight guy?
Yes, exactly. But it's so, you know, if you're so deeply entrenched in your own, in what's going on with you and you alone, it's really hard to think anything is delightful or funny. So she sort of taught me to dissociate.
Do you have a memory of being like, oh, I take things less seriously now?
Yeah. Every day I feel that way. Every day I'm like, oh wow, I take things less seriously than I used to. And especially as a mom, you have to do that, because if I allowed every tantrum to like end me, I would be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to your kid, but I have to get to this. I just have to talk about it. So, every single human being who is nominated for a Tony Award deserves to win.
Yeah.
You should have 2 Tony Awards. Like, everyone deserves to win. And nobody was better or less good or worse or whatever, but Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, I talked about it every 5 minutes. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I'm just gonna ask you the same questions I always ask you.
Great.
Can you talk about getting drunk with Patty LuPone?
Yes. But that was in Gypsy. Do you guys know?
That's right.
Does everybody know the story already? Are we bored by it? No. Okay. Okay. So the first time I ever met Patty was the first day of rehearsal of Gypsy at City Center, and I was playing Gypsy Rose Lee, so I was on a crazy diet where I only ate like 5 almonds, and it was not good. But so I hadn't eaten all day, and she was like, "Do you want to go get a drink?" And I was like, "Yes, Patty, I do want to get a drink." And she started out by saying to the bartender, she was like, "I'll have 2 double vodkas on the rocks." And I was like, "I will also have 2 double vodkas on the rocks and a loaf of bread." And I only remember the first like 30 to 40 minutes. Because I'm not a big drinker, and I hadn't eaten, and I don't remember how I got home. Not safe, nobody do that, especially young people, don't do that. I just remember I woke up in the shower with my clothes and my shoes on.
Water off though.
Water on?
Yeah, water on?
I was in the shower with my Yeah, and my then husband opened the shower door and was like, "What happened to you?" And I looked up at him and I said, "Patty LuPone."
Oh my God! Gypsy was such a turning point. I don't want to say
It was a turning point. Yeah, well, because I had in Into the Woods I broke my neck, and it was like before internet stuff.
Do you guys not know that Laura broke her neck in Into the Woods?
Yeah, so I broke my neck in Into the Woods doing pratfall, and long story short, like it became a whole thing where like the producers were saying that I didn't break my neck, and my doctor was like, "Yes, she did." And but it was like we couldn't talk about it publicly, and it was just a weird thing. Like the Post asked them why I was out, and they were like, "We don't know, but we wish you'd show up for work." Meanwhile, I'm like a collar, like my mom kept like bathing me. So that was really hard for me. It was the first time in my life I ever felt like, oh, not everybody has your best interests at heart. Because I grew up in this tiny town where everybody was like rooting for me. And so after that happened, I kind of lost my love for my first love, which is theater. It was just so physically painful and emotionally scarring. So I took a step back, and I didn't do another show for a while. I did like a bunch of TV stuff, and then the next thing I did was The Wedding Singer. So thanks. And I didn't feel particularly proud of my performance in The Wedding Singer. I didn't feel like I was like necessarily right for that part, even though I maybe tried my best. Not every role is your role.
Yeah.
They were so generous to cast me in it, and I did audition, and it just ended up being like not the right fit. So I was feeling bad about that, and so when Gypsy came along, and I auditioned for that as well, once that came along, and I felt a sense of community again. Like I was able to talk about what happened to me with my neck, and people who had been pretty cruel to me reached out from the company to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And so it felt like a healing of sorts, where I was brought back to the thing that I love to do, which is theater, you know, and it made me feel like just that I was part of a community again that I didn't really feel part of for like 4 or 5 years.